Hi Stitchers, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Stitching with Nicole, Flosstube episode 142. Sunday, April the 19th, 2026, and I am back for my weekly stitching update. As you can see, the great migration of Craft Room has begun. I am working on cleaning off all of the shelves and getting everything off of the furniture so that my boys can move it tomorrow. So that is the goal right now. It's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought let's take a little time out and film a floss tube before I get back to removing everything, only to put it back together. So I am excited to be here this week. As always, I want to let you guys know that some of the links down in the description may be affiliate links, which means I do earn a small commission if you do shop through those links at no extra cost to you. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link down in my description. It is always appreciated, never expected. I do want to thank Marcia for the Buy Me a Coffee, and I use that for things like framing and filming equipment and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for doing that. And like I said, it is completely optional and never ever expected. So thank you so much for your support. I do like to tell you guys what to expect in my videos. This is likely, I want to say I think it'll be a little on the shorter side just because I have so much left to clean up and do before tomorrow. And I also taught a paper crafting event this morning. So I'm getting this filmed and done a little bit later than what I normally like to do. And, you know, all of that good stuff. I'm excited that we're getting closer to what it'll eventually be. If you were in one of my lives this week and I said that the rest of my missing office furniture was coming, guess what? They didn't show up. And I am having a fun time with Pottery Barn. And I am this close to losing my temper completely. I was pretty angry on the phone Friday and got a manager, but the runaround between the delivery center and Pottery Barn is not my favorite. And I'm super mad. But we're going to see if it gets resolved here. Still no word from the delivery center. But I do have the email and phone number of a lovely customer service agent at Pottery Barn, and she is working on it. And she did give me her number and a point of contact, which is better than what it was. So here we are. It's always something, isn't it? Anyhow, so that's where we are. But the rest of all of this nice IKEA furniture is getting taken downstairs tomorrow. In today's episode, I have an FFO to share with you, 2 finishes, a little progress on 1 WIP, and then we're going to talk about the Spring Mingle NEEDLEBUG needlebook. Just briefly touch on that just a little bit, and finally we're going to talk about the Patriotic Pears Stitch Along is coming close to an end. The finishing tutorial is this Tuesday evening. I will share you all of my stitched pairs. I have not FFO'd them. I am actually doing that here a little bit later, or getting a start on it. It's a little bit later this week than I wanted to. That's neither here nor there. It does not matter. But I'm going to show you that. And then, of course, the finishing tutorial is Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time. And finally, I think I have just a tiny, tiny little bit of a navel vision for you. So let's dive into this week's episode. So I'm super excited to share that I was able to finish or FFO my Summer's Swan little pillow. This is from With Thy Needle and Thread. I finished stitching this a few weeks ago, and it's been sitting in my to be finished pile. And I'm just kind of trying to do 1 or 2 a week to wrap those up. And here is my FFO for Summer's Swan. You can see that I basically finished it exactly like the chart called for. I'll flip the camera and show you here in a little bit. So I stuffed it. I did use one of these gorgeous new, I think this is Independence, is that the name of this line from Riley Blake? This is one of the fabrics we're using for the pear finishing tutorial. I just love it. I used that on the back. I did do I think this is Vanilla Lady Dot Creates pom-pom trim. And then I did open mine in the back, and I just put a Sweetwater label over the top, and I finished it with some decorative pins. So let's flip that camera around and take a look at it, and I'll keep the photo here. I really loved the finish, so I just kind of basically went and did something similar. I think I'll look on the chart. Brenda used vintage. I know I used the vanilla, which I don't know if I had vintage or not, but I had this and I kind of liked it, so that's what I used for mine. And I did stuff mine. You can see it's stuffed pretty firm. I stuffed mine with wool roving. The wool roving I use is this 100% Corriedale wool roving, and I get it in a box off of Amazon, and I really love it because you get a lot and it goes a long way. And I will link this down in the description below, but I simply just pull it and cut it into lengths to use to stuff. And it does make a little bit of a mess. I think everything, polyester fiber fill makes a mess too. So a lint roller is super handy to have on hand to not only clean up your finished piece after you've stuffed it, but I usually roll it all over my desk or wherever I have put my project together just to clean it up. So this is actually the same product I'll be using to stuff my pears, but I will be using a combination of this and crushed walnut shells. So just, I'll have a link to that down below. So what I did for my finishes, almost always anymore, I put lightweight fusible interfacing on the back of the stitching to protect my stitches and also to give it really good shape. I also use lightweight fusible interfacing on my fabric because I think it gives my cotton fabric a lot of shape as well and makes it just, I like my pillows a little firmer and not so floppy, I guess. And so that is why I use that. And then I stuff mine really firmly with whatever I am using. And again, I use the wool for my Summer's Swan here. Isn't it so pretty? It's going to be perfect, all ready to set out when I switch out my Spring Easter to Patriotic here in a week or so. I did use some of these little black pins. I cannot remember where I got these, and then I have this pin here. It might be from Jersey Girl Stitch Co., but it might not. I might have got it from somebody at a retreat. I just put everything like by theme in my Alex IKEA drawers, which as soon as my office is put together, I will do a complete walkthrough of my craft space. But I just pulled it because I kind of liked that little fun touch on here. And I did hand stitch my pom-pom trim. You can see here. I hand stitched my pom-pom trim all the way around. I started down here, just did a little overlap, and I hand stitch it on all the way. That's just kind of how I like to do it. It does take a little bit. It probably took me 30 to 40 minutes, but I feel like it's time well worth it. Don't have to mess with glue. And if I ever don't like it, I can always just snip it off and then, you know, pull my pillow apart if I need to. So that's kind of my way of finishing. I did film this it will be one of the included tutorials in my upcoming pillow tutorial. I wanted to have several different kinds of pillow finishes in it, so it'll be a more comprehensive video. And so I did add this, as well as how to separate your pom-pom trim, the Lady Dot pom-pom trim. It doesn't work with everything I have found, but the Lady Dot, I pull that apart so it's just the pom, and then you stitch it, hand stitch it on or glue it in place. So this is Summer Swan by With Thy Needle and Thread. It was stitched on a 40 count piece of vintage country mocha with all of the called for colors, called for fabric, called for colors, and basically the called for finish with just a couple of minor tweaks. I love it. This is the first swan I finished. I have the autumn swan started, but not finished. And so I really would like to get the Easter, spring, and the Christmas one stitched as well. I love them. And swans are everywhere. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, I love, love, love it. Love having a new FFO too. Okay, let's talk finishes this week. I think I forgot to pull the cover page for the Patriotic Pears, but that's okay. I'm sure you guys have seen them. You've seen them all over, or you've stitched them yourself. So this was the third and final week of the live Stitch With Me's, which were hosted on Tuesday evenings on my YouTube channel. And this week, the first week we stitched the red pair. The second week we stitched the blue pair, and I don't know what I was thinking, because this white pair definitely had the most stitching on it, and I saved it for last, but that's okay. But my plan was to have a lot of it stitched and just finish it on camera. So I had almost everything stitched except for, I think, 1, 2, 3, maybe about 4 little star images, and then part of a stripe. And I ended up stitching and finishing this on camera in the last Stitch With Me episode this last week, so that I have all 3 of my pairs finished. Now I stitched mine. The red is Red Velvet by Color and Cotton. The blue is Aruba Soft by Color and Cotton. These are not called for. 36 count for all of them. And the white, quote unquote white, is the called for Thornfield by Needle and Flax. So this is the only one I haven't shown you guys in Flosstube yet. These will all be finished pairs by next week. And I'll show you a close-up look, but the finishing tutorial will go up Tuesday evening. So this is the Patriotic Pears by Annie B's Folk Art. Love stitching these. These are a quick stitch, especially the red and the blue. The red took me about 2.5 to 3 hours. The blue, or the red, I think I said that wrong. The red took me 2.5 to 3 hours. The blue took me 2 hours to stitch. And the white, I think it took about 3.5. So in case, everybody stitches a little bit, differently, but just kind of as a gauge, that's how long it took me. Pretty quick stitching. The one thing I want to note, whatever light fabric you choose to, if you stitch yours like the chart and you choose to stitch it, you'll notice that I did not carry threads on this one. If I did, it was very close to another little motif, so it isn't going to show. But what I didn't want was, when we go to finish, you to be able to see like blue or red threads draped from here to here. So you might just be careful about that when stitching. I'll show you, like on the white, see how I just carried my threads? I traveled all over the place because it won't show through. I did not do that on this white one, the Stars and Stripes, because I did not want to see that through there. But that is my Patriotic Pears by Annie B's Folk Art, and I'm super excited to share the finishing with you guys this week. The next thing I wanted to share that I finished stitching is Hop Into Spring by With Thy Needle and Thread. I had started this last year. This was a market release last year, I believe. And I had just the tiniest start on it last year. And I kind of just really tried to lean into two different pieces. I've got Coco's Garden by Teresa Kogut and Hop Into Spring. And I ended up finishing Hop Into Spring this week. I'm going to work on Coco's Garden this next week and see if I can't get it finished before the end of April. Even though Easter's over, I'm happy to have this one done. Here is my stitching. It did take a little longer than I thought, and then when I was all done stitching, I had to go back in and do long stitches on all of those leaves. See all those little stitches? There was a lot of that. So a lot of little kind of detailed work. There's lots of little Smyrna crosses. There's some little back stitching around eyes and long stitches for whiskers and the bows around the bunny's neck. It all lends itself to a super beautiful finish, but it was a lot of little kind of finicky detail work. I do have the finishing board from 141 Design. This is called Frilltastic. And I have not painted mine yet. I know I don't have the exact colors, but I'm sure I have something close in my stash, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get this one FFO'd before next week as well, so that I can enjoy it for a few days before, again, I box everything up and get the Patriotic out, but I just love it. I stitched it on the called for 36 count pyrite with all of the called for threads. And I don't know why I kept this in the giant piece of pyrite linen, but I'll be trimming that down for finishing here this week. Isn't it? Her bunnies are just gorgeous. I love, love, love With Thy Needle and Threads bunnies. So that is Hop Into Spring by With Thy Needle and Thread. Okay, so those were my finishes from last week. Let's go ahead and talk about any WIPs I've worked on, which is one. And it's very little. It's actually what I stitched a little on this last night before I laid over on the couch and laid there and fell asleep for like 20 minutes and then said, you need to go to bed. And then I laid in bed for an hour trying to go back to sleep. Dumb. Super, super dumb. Oh well. Okay, so this is from the March Teresa Kogut Patreon, and I just loved, loved, loved this renewal piece. And last time I showed it to you, I had all of this done. So all I stitched last night was I did a little bit of greenery, and then I did put in the outline and the majority of this goose. I just have the white fill in. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Buttermilk by Fiber on a Whim. Most of the called for colors, however, I am using not whitewash. I am using, I think I'm using grits, or am I using whitewash? Huh. What a good question. I thought I was using grits for this. I might have the wrong thing. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Well, I'll put it on the screen what I'm using, because I cannot tell which thread I used for this. It might have been this whitewash that I've been using. I had tried, and I had started this goose with the called for 38. I think I am using whitewash. I had pulled out 3866, and it's just got a little too much beigey in it, and it blended into my fabric too much, and the whitewash stood out so much better. So I decided to go ahead and stick with the whitewash so that it would stand out against this fabric, and I'm really happy with that change. It is whitewash now that I'm totally thinking about it. In fact, we're just going to take off 3866 since I'm not using that at all. But that is it as far as my stitching this week. Pretty minimal. Here, you know what we're going to do? as I come across these, I'm taking my little tabs. I showed you these in last week's video. I'd gotten this tip from Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches. She had shown using these. I am putting these on the back of my Weeks Die Works. And as I am getting to projects that have that, I am just putting them on here because they go on your floss rings so much easier. Are those the only ones? Do I have any other? Yeah, it's just those. Perfect. And there we go. So I'll link these down below for you guys as well, but love those so, so much. And we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to take 3866 out because I am not using it for this. And I'm instead using whitewash. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? The NEEDLEBUG Needlebook Kit for Spring Mingle. I'm so glad you guys are excited about this. I have had a lot of you, you've signed up, you've sent emails. If you have not heard back from us and you do not have the welcome email from us, please use this email right here on the screen. That's our customer service email, and myself or Brendan will get back to you and get you that email. Just a little FYI, the way my email system works is that if you have unsubscribed, it will not allow me to re-add you. So you might need to re-add just for a little bit so that when we, on the back end, it's a lot of back end stuff. But we just legally, we cannot add you back in just for that. And if you've unsubscribed, then we can't send it out. It's just a thing. So you might want to resubscribe just for a little bit, basically is the moral of that. However, we can get you the information if we need to, but just keep in mind there are a lot of you, and so it just makes it a little bit easier for us just to keep track if we can just send you out in mass email. Really excited about the book. I want to address a question that I received because I thought in case anybody else has the same question, it would be good to answer it here. And that is if the, I'll just pop the photo in because I didn't bring it up here. It's downstairs already. If the Ladybug, the NEEDLEBUG Needlebook is machine sewn or hand sewn. It's completely hand sewing. So no sewing machine is required for this. If you don't sew on a sewing machine, no fear. It's completely hand stitched. So, with that being said, I hope you'll join us. We're going to have so much fun, and there might be a couple of little surprises in there along the way as well. I'm not going to reveal that right at the moment, but anyway, just excited to share and teach this class. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is May 15th through the 17th. And it's a virtual event, even if you're not going to take a class. Buy a $15 ticket, come hang out at the Spring Mingle. You can join the stitching rooms. You can partake in all of the free activities. You can go to the shopping hall without even taking a class. So whether you take a class or not, I hope you'll come stitch and enjoy the virtual event. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the NEEDLEBUG Needlebook, and also during the finishing, we talked about the Patriotic Pears, so I'm going to talk a little Enable Vision. The first thing, and I forgot to show this last week, I decided to join the Country Feathers Pin Keep series. So last year I was also in this series. I think it's 3 times a year if I'm not mistaken, from Tammy Black of Scattered Seed Samplers. And I decided I love these pieces because I feel like they're really nice non-seasonal specific smalls that I could keep out anytime. Like I could group in dough bowls together. I was stalled on the first one I started from last year because I started stitching on the wrong side of Vintage Country Mocha. In fact, I think they come, yeah, 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. I think I'm going to switch the linen, which I think I'm going to change it to Pyrite by Cedar River Linen. But even if I don't, I think these are nice. Like I'm imagining grouped in displays like around the house, just non-season, like I said, not non-seasonal specific. I love decorating for seasons, but I also really like having some things that aren't just like Easter or patriotic or Christmas. I just want some things that can be left out all of the time to enjoy. And these kind of hit that button for me. So I did join this, and what I love is that you get everything in here. So you get the chart, you get the template, the oval template, because this is an oval finish, which I thought was really cute. And I don't know, can you guys see this border has stitching on it, those little blue flowers? I think they're so cute and so pretty. So you get your chart, your template, you get all of the threads, and they come so nicely on a little card here and all labeled really nice. You get your little charm that you can use, the little charm here, which I'm trying to decide where that is on here. And then you get your backing fabric, which I love this backing fabric. You get your linen, the Vintage Country Mocha, and then you also get a needle and then that little ribbon for finishing. So super, super cute. And the companion for this is the little heart companion. So last year's companions, I think, were all strawberries, which I really want to get to. So on the template page, I'm going to show you, there's just a little black and white. So the little ring here that's around the floss and our ribbon over here, that, I mean, you can't tell anything from the size. And the little charm all go on this if you want to do that. So you could also put the little charm, you could put the ribbon on the edge of your pillow finish if you wanted to. Instead, you could put the charm on like a little pen, and you could pin that to the back of your piece, which is what I might do for mine. But I just wanted to show that because I love that it comes with everything you need to finish, minus your stuffing material. And here's that other little piece for the little heart. So really, really clever. I just love it. I think they're so nicely done. And I have a whole little bag of these together, and I would like to just sit down and get one of these stitched. I'd like to get several of them stitched. Like I said, I have a bowl ready to go where I would like to put these. And I'd like to eventually have several groupings of them throughout the house, because I have a couple of different areas that I think that they would just look super sweet or tucked into any kind of shelves or displays. So again, this is from Scattered Seed Samplers on Etsy. I will link this down in the description below if you're interested at all. And beautiful work. She has such really fun designs. One of my favorite bunnies I stitched last year is from Scattered Seed Samplers, and I just love it. I would like to get a couple more stitched, but what happened to the Easter spring stitching this year? I don't know. Okay, the next two things are quilt related, and I got this one. This one I don't think will be very hard. I shouldn't say none of them are hard, not as time consuming as the other one, but I absolutely love patriotic colors anyway, and I have so many patriotic quilts on my wish list. I saw this block of the month come out from Sweetwater, and I'm a huge Sweetwater fan. You have to do this through their website, and I decided it's only a 4-month block of the month. You do have to do multiple blocks each month to get it done, but I felt like it was really doable. What is the size of this one? Does it say what size this quilt is? I'm sure it says somewhere, and I don't know. So each month you're basically doing 6 blocks, 3 big and 3 small. So the big blocks are all in the center. The small blocks are all out on the border. So you will make the matching small block to the big block. And the April kit came, and these are the 3 blocks, or the 6 blocks, I guess I should say, that we're doing. I just love this collection from Sweetwater so much. This is called Seeing Stars, block of the month. It is all stars. I love how it looks. It came wrapped with this pretty little ribbon. And these are the fabrics. You get all of your background fabric with your month one. So here's all the cream. But here are the fabrics. And I'm going to get this all prepped, ready, and hopefully get these sewn up. I already got my sewing machine set up downstairs, got the desk put where it's going to live. I had actually had that desk. It was out in the garage. It used to be in here. There was not enough room for it. So I had not been utilizing it, and I've already been sewing. So, well, I sewed the Swan's pillow. That's it so far. But I'd like to, once my room is set up, be able to dive into this. So again, this is called the Seeing Stars Stitch Along from Sweetwater. I don't know if you can join or not still, but I will link it down below. I would imagine they will eventually, if it's not still able to join, you can eventually get this, or maybe the pattern already is available in their Etsy shop or on their website. I will look, because you could always grab your own fabric and do it. But I just love, love, love the colors, and I think it'll be really doable. So got that. Truth be told, here's just a secret. I forgot that I ordered this, and I was delighted when it showed up. Oh, Nichol. Okay, the other thing, Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts, a couple years ago, she doesn't normally do this. So they do a mystery stitch along pretty much, I don't know how many years it's been going on, but a lot. And I don't normally join in, but she is re-releasing this one. It's probably, I guess, one of the most popular ones, Apple Blossom Road, which I love. And she re-released it. It is a ton of pages. This one is what you would call not simple. I mean, it's not hard either, but it's a lot of little pieces, a lot of different blocks, but I love that about it. And here's a better picture. I just love the little sampler-ishness of it. Really cute. Great for this year. Great with, you know, some of the new fabric that she has out. What I was going to say, this pattern doesn't include 3 patterns you need from her that she utilized in this. And those are Orchard, which I did pick up because I didn't have it. Annie's Wreaths, I also didn't have it, and Estrella's, which I do have. It's stars. And I'd always thought I would make that quilt. So I had that one already, but I did pick these up. I'm going to add them to my stash. I do not know if I'll get this one started or not. I really would like to. This one was from 2023. So it is a big, lots and lots of pages, but I absolutely love it. Even if it was something that I start in July, maybe I start it as a 4th of July quilt start or something this year, and I just work on it for a year. I wouldn't hate that either. I just really liked it, and I have a lot of fig tree fabric and other fabric that would work as well, but I thought I could potentially just pull completely from stash, which is kind of my goal. I was going to try to pull everything from my stash and see what I can come up with. So that is, I think that is it for anything that I have got for Enable Vision. I think that is it for today's video. Short and sweet, I guess, today. But thank you so much, as always, for joining me. I appreciate you all so, so much. Let me know down in the comments, what are you working on? Are you working on Patriotic? Are you still working on spring? Have you moved to summer? You working on something else? Let me know all of the things. Keep me company while the boys move all the furniture. I have to reorganize and put all of this stuff away. But thank you, as always, for spending some of your time with me. I appreciate you guys. And hopefully I will see some of you Tuesday night in the chat for the Patriotic Pears finishing. So until next time, happy stitching. Bye, everybody. It is Sunday, April the 19th. Wow, 2026. And I am back for another stitching, or my weekly stitching update. All right, friends, I think that is it for today's video. Short and sweet. Keep me company here in the comments while I am moving, or maybe while I'm scrolling and reading them while my boys are moving the furniture downstairs. Full disclosure. I mean, I'll have to move all the stuff. I was going to say crap because it is. It isn't, but it is, you know.